struggling to get it around at the moment. The advantage was 18 seconds we see, but I think it's maybe a little bit less than that. And on this sort of run in, you know, a straight wide road, it's a difficult one out there on your own. You have to be real powerful to hold off, and you know, still a lot of action here at the rear.
And look, the group is not that far behind either now on this long straight road. Oh, Evans has done a tremendous amount of work. You've got to take your hat off to him, Sean. He's defended, so far, he's defended this world titles exceptionally well.
Yes, he's, you know, been in the thick of the action
all the time.
All the time today, and you know, going out very early in that group, which went away of about 25 riders in the very early part of the race. But as you said, we can see there's a group coming up, and that is going to be an interesting one now. How far is it off, and who is in there is the biggest question of all. Is there some of the sprinters still, you know, able to hang in there on that last climb, and will they get back together? It's going to be a very tight finish here.
It is. This is where the non-sprinting classics men go as hard as they possibly can and try and stay away. Gilbert, of course, is a man with a little bit of an advantage. He's got a good sprint on him as well, but he's decided to do a bit of a trademark, going away from everybody ride. He feels he's strong enough, and he's used it to his advantage in the past to win races, and this is exactly what he's trying to do now. He knows it's something he can do. You could have probably written that. You could have probably sent a telegram to that effect to the rest of the peloton at some point. But Evans again as well. I mean, this is the sort of ride Evans does over time and time again in the last 18 months, 2 years. 10 seconds now the gap. Where does he find the energy from? He seems to sort of falter a little bit and then suddenly just regroups his forces. His coach, same coach as Ivan Basso, by the way, says he's got the biggest engine that he's ever come across. He's just immensely powerful, Cadel Evans, but sometimes is inside his head in the past. It just hasn't been quite good enough. So he's been changing that in the last year or so, whereas Basso, for example, doesn't have quite as big a physical talent as the catch is made for those 5 men, but he has more mental grit and takes him beyond things. Brakovic, is that doing the work on the front? Chris Anker Sorensen for Denmark, which means Breschel must still be in this group here.
Yes, he has to be, and a big group. You can see that there's what, 25 riders in this group, and
yeah,
maybe 20 certainly.
22, 23. Yeah.
It's going to be a difficult one for Gilbert, as we see there. He's still around the 2 kilometres to the finish, and with a group coming up like that, and we see Chris Anker Sorensen just putting it on.
Look.
It's over.
It's over for Gilbert. Gusev is the Russian, instantly recognisable from style. Vladimir Gusev takes over where his teammate Alexandr Kolobnev left off, and now he's making a bid for freedom. This is a good move because he's certainly not one of the favourites, but very, very strong. Who's come across to him? One of the Slovenians. Very brief shot we saw, and the two of them have got very little gap between them. It's Brakovic. Janez Brakovic piling on the pressure now with Gusev in his wheel. These two well used to each other, raced around each other in the peloton for many, many, many years. Slovenia and Russia are ahead, but there's not enough gap. 2 kilometres to go, and there's a big bunch still of 20-odd riders, which must have some sprinters in it, by the look of it. Certainly Matti Breschel is there, because Chris Anker Sorensen has been doing a huge amount of work. The wind coming in as almost a tailwind here. And Brakovic and Gusev have, what, 50 bike lengths? Well, they're having a go, but they might get to the last corner by themselves, but they aren't going to get any further, I don't think. And that's Terpstra. Nicky Terpstra, he's exactly the same in the Vuelta, Sean, and he's got the most fantastic style for doing this. That's a good move. They'll just sit on him, surely.
Yes, well, I think if they can sit on him, it'll be a good move, because the way he's going there at the moment, we can see, you know, they just make a sprint to get into the wheel, and Terpstra, you know, we did see it in Vuelta where he can just, you know, go so fast in that final 2 kilometres. Interested to see now who is here in this group, as we can see.
Feillu, I can see Feillu is in there, Romain Feillu. Arashiro is there, the Japanese rider, in the middle. In the red and white with the blue helmet. Who else? More out to the back. Terpstra giving it a go. We know Breschel must be in this group because Chris Anker Sorensen doing a tremendous amount of work. Hushovd takes on the mantle of leading this. They've gone under the 1 kilometer to go banner. They're going to turn hard right now into this final. The three have been caught. It's Japan at the front at the moment. Is it not, by the look of it? Trying to lead things out. Or is it Denmark? Denmark. Oh, Terpstra drives for the line. He's one last bid to try and stay away. That's a smart move by Nicky Terpstra, because he can't out-sprint people, but he might be able to out-drag them. He's trying to do a Cancellara. In the middle of the shot is
Hushovd is there.
Hushovd on the far right-hand side. Van Avermaet in the yellow helmet for Belgium. On his wheel is Matti Breschel in the white glasses, the red and white of Denmark. On the left-hand side, Philippe Gilbert is still up towards the front, and on his wheel is Oscar Freire. Oscar Freire has made it here, and Allan Davis of Australia gets into the wheel of Matti Breschel. But on the right-hand side, it's Hushovd. Hushovd makes the win. Well, he came out from behind everybody, had a completely clear run. And Matti Breschel misses out, having perfectly placed himself in the wheel of Greg Van Avermaet. The big Norwegian used his strength, and he does finish well. We said it was a bit like a Barcelona-type finish. It could suit somebody like Hushovd. He had clear air, had nobody in front of him, nobody to get in the way, and Thor Hushovd is the world champion. And if I'm not very much mistaken, Kurt Arvesen was the under-23 world champion, but I've got a feeling that this man is Norway's first ever world senior road champion. I don't even think they've been on the podium. Well, that was a great ride by Thor Hushovd, Sean, because that's a terrifically difficult circuit to hang in there at that speed.
Yes, a great ride to hang in there. That is I think the big point of it. And the sprint perfectly. We could see him there just on the right as they were coming, and you know, positioning was perfect. And Breschel, also, you know, really good position and perfect sprinting, but Thor Hushovd was the strongest of the two by far, and he wins it by what, a bike length and a half. Yep,
yeah, by a convincing length. Breschel runs a hand over his face, bangs the bars. He misses again. He'll have to wait another year. The Australian Allan Davis on the right-hand side, the smallest of the riders. Hushovd, look at the way he goes past people. Van Avermaet in fourth at this point. Breschel, he's already looking across to Thor Hushovd. Pozzato coming quickly.
Real quick. Really quick,
yep. He might well have even picked Albi for third there. I'm not at all sure. We'll just have to check when we see another shot of it. But by far the most powerful sprint of the day from Thor Hushovd. And Breschel knew it. Look, he looks across just out the side, corner of his eye. You can see him. And he knows he's lost. No. Allan Davis just hangs on to a bronze medal, ahead of a really fast finishing Filippo Pozzato. So Pozzato, if he'd have got himself a bit better position, Sean, looks as though he could have taken the fight to somebody like Hushovd.
Yes, certainly. With, you know, the way he came there in the final 5-10 meters, coming at a very fast pace, and again just a bit too far off, and positioning not good at all.
Hushovd from Breschel from Davis, then Pozzato fourth, Van Avermaet fifth, then Freire, Kolobnev and Assan Bazayev once again continues to amaze with his strength and his resilience in eighth spot. Arashiro of Japan in ninth, Feillu 10th, Bolo is in there, Murat still finishing in the top 15, terrific. Wegman 14th, Cardozo of Portugal 15th. We didn't see hide nor hair of him all day. Frank Schleck 16th, and the man who was tipped by many to be the world champion, Philippe Gilbert, misses out still put up a fight in the last, but here is the world champion.
Oh, it's just amazing. It's just hard to understand that I won the Worlds. It's a dream, and sometimes I feel it's an unreal dream. So, and now I won it here in Geelong, Australia. So, no, that was amazing. I'm speechless.
It required a lot of patience because there were a number of breakaways. You didn't have a lot of team support. Were there any moments you were concerned about the breakaway surviving?
Yeah, absolutely. For a while, it was only Spain who was riding with 1 or 2 guys, and I was afraid that it was over at that moment. But then Russia and some other teams came along, and yeah, we finally came back. So yeah, and we had Edvald Bosenhagen in front, so I said I could just sit easy in the back. So yeah, for us it was perfect.
You have such a strong track record of targeting stages in tours, like you did at the Tour de France this year, the Tour of Spain, and now this. What can you target next with the rainbow jersey on?
That's one goal, and that's Paris-Roubaix.
So we can see the rainbow jersey going into that velodrome next year, potentially.
Yeah, that will be the biggest dream ever. So no, now I will just enjoy this. I will try to enjoy every day over this winter, and just look at the jersey and just enjoy this, because I had this chance, and maybe we're not happening again.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations indeed, and yes, you should savour the pleasure over the winter.
And why not?
Absolutely. Nice job in the questions by our colleague Matthew Keenan. They're doing the questioning. Well, that was a convincing win in the end by Thor Hushovd. A good bike length and a half. Poor old Matti Breschel misses out again, having got a bronze 2 years ago. Breschel, he's going to have to now refocus on the classics once again. And Hushovd seems to be back to his best. He's been bubbling under a little bit in the last year, I would say. Look at the speed Pozzato's coming in this. That's incredible. Bettini won't be so pleased, I don't think.
No, when you see somebody with, you know, that power in the end, and just that not getting in the right position, because he was certainly